back to News Geelong. The eastern beach area of the Geelong waterfront will be a hive of activity on Sunday, Mother's Day, as people pound the pavement and enjoy a special morning raising money for breast cancer research. Ian Nichols has more.
Well, Julie, this is an important event, not only for Geelong, but nationally for breast cancer. It's a great fundraiser.
It is. We raise $1 million to $3 million a year for the National Breast Cancer Research Foundation, which funds research into trying to get rid of breast cancer altogether. And
this run on Mother's Day itself, it's a fun event as well as...
It is. It's basically to raise awareness for breast cancer and to have fun, bring families together, celebrate those that are still surviving and remember those that we've lost.
And you're asking people now, of course, to participate, register ASAP.
Absolutely. Registration online closes on the 9th, and then you can actually register on the day if you like, if you want to come then.
Now we point out this all starts at Eastern Beach, Geelong, quite early on Mother's Day, about 7 a.m.
That's correct, yes. Yep. We'll be down there from 5:30.
Wow. It won't be daylight, Julie.
No, I know. We run around with our torches.
Well, there are more than one distance attached to this event.
Yes, there's a 4K or an 8K run or walk.
So you can do it in your leisure. It's more to bring about awareness of breast cancer.
That's exactly right.
And the research that's going on.
Yes, absolutely. And there's been some tremendous things developed through our research efforts. One of them is, which affects men, is that if you have a genetic gene called the Pt2 in your family, then it actually makes us more aware that there's a potential to get prostate cancer as a result of that gene. So this has all come through the research, so all this knowledge is being built up all the time.
Well, we're having the launch here today at Market Square, and we're getting quite excited about the Mayor, John Mitchell.
I think he's being very brave. I threw out the challenge and he took it on. I just said it's basically a metaphor for what people that have the treatments go through, and this is just a small way of making people aware of those sorts of adventures that they have to go through on the day.
No, we're not dragging out the Bic razor today or anything as gruesome as that?
Oh no, it's the strips, the tearing off of the hair.
Even worse?
Even worse. He said we're not allowed to hurt him, so I hope we don't.
Well, Mitch probably hasn't had his legs waxed since his football playing days.
I think so. I think that's very much the case. But he's very brave to accept the challenge.
Well, there's no doubt about our Mayor. He will do anything to promote a good cause, and you couldn't get a better one than this.
That's exactly right. Thank you.
And we ask all those mums and dads and kids to come down to Eastern Beach on Mum's Day and take part in this event.
Yep. And if anybody's got any spare time and would like to volunteer, we're looking for volunteers as well.
So do you have a website?
Yes. www.mothersdayclassic.org.au.
Thank you, Ian. Our expert team of local footy tipsters have been hot on the trail of winners so far this season as we move into this weekend's round of matches, beginning with the Geelong Football League and Mitch Scoop Cleary.
Thanks, Rollo, and here are my tips for GFL action round 5. Leopold take on Bell Park tomorrow afternoon, with the Lions surprisingly the unbeaten of these two sides. It will be a great test for the Lions to put themselves against the reigning Premier, but I'm going to tip the Dragons just to get over the line. In other matches, I'm going to take St Mary's to beat Grovedale, St Joseph's to beat Newtown and Chuel in the Battle of Autumn Street, Lara at home over Colac in a tight one, North Shore to get their first win over Geelong West St Peters, and South Barn to do the job on St Albans. Now it's over to you, Grubby.
Good on you. Thanks, Mitch. And g'day, viewers. Welcome to Grubby's Tips for round 5 in the WRFL. We'll have a look at Albion, probably Sunshine to beat Albion, Deer Park to beat Hoppers Crossing, Port Colts to beat North Footscray, St Albans to beat Sunshine Heights, and in the match of the day, Spotty in a close one over Altona. Switching down to the GDFL, we'll go Bellpost Hill to beat Inverleigh, Thompson in the match of the day to just get over East Geelong. We'll go for Corio to beat Belmont Lions, both injury plagued, but just barely. Werribee Centrals to beat West, Anarchy to beat North Geelong just, and Bannockburn to have a big one over Winch. Thanks, boys. Over to you, Troy.
G'day guys, it's Troy Selwood, the Bendigo Bank VFL captain, and here are my tips for both AFL Round 7 and VFL Round 8. In the AFL, I'm tipping Hawthorn to beat Melbourne, obviously us boys Geelong to beat Adelaide, Gold Coast to win against Greater Western Sydney, Sydney to beat Richmond, West Coast to keep the going against Essendon, Collingwood to beat Brisbane, the Bulldogs to beat North Melbourne, Freo to beat Port Adelaide, and St Kilda to beat Carlton. And in the VFL, I'm tipping North Ballarat to beat Coburg, Box Hill to beat Casey Scorpions, Port Melbourne to beat Collingwood VFL, Werribee to beat Frankston, and Northern to defeat Sandringham Zebras. The VFL Cats, the Bendigo Bank Cats, have the bye this week, so hopefully we can turn things around the week after. Cheers.
Thanks, Troy. As we have a look at the Bellarine Football League, this week's Rawlins having a look at it for Cuz. In round 6 of the BFL, Ocean Grove too strong for Anglesea. Geelong Amateur record their second win of the season by defeating Newcombe. Mottawarri too strong for Bowen Heads. Torquay will take the points over Port Arlington. And in the match of the day down the Cooter Bowl, Queenscliff will defeat the Drysdale Hawks. Whilst in the Colac and District Football League, Colac Imperials to take the points over Otway Districts. Apollo Bay too strong for Simpson. Illawarra Biak to defeat Western Eagles. Lawn at home over Birregurra. And in their match of the day, Forest to remain on top of the ladder as they defeat LV at home, with South Colac having the bye. That's the footy tips for this week. We'll take a break and be back with more of News Geelong, sport and weather after this.